Greetings everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering Medieval Dynasty. If you would like to skip the game's overview or the details about this series, please use YouTube chapters. Medieval Dynasty is a village building game where you're thrown into the wilderness with a singular goal: build a thriving village to pay taxes to the local lord. You start off as a homeless peasant armed with nothing more than your wits, but are offered the opportunity to lead a village into thriving prosperity. Hunt, farm, ranch, mine, fish, craft, forge, and build your dynasty. In this series, I'll be playing solo in Oxbow, which is one of the two maps. Oxbow is more of the sandbox map, the other map is more of the story map. I'm not using any mods, and I do have the Echoes of Nature DLC, which will be releasing in 5 days. All the game settings are on their default value, except for I do have fast craft turned on. And then I'll be following some simple rules. I will not be forcing the people to share homes. I'll only take treasure if I organically find it. I won't steal, and I won't be advancing through seasons through sleep. Basically, I'm going to keep the cheese and min-maxing to a minimum for organic progression. So as I said just a moment ago, there is the Valley, which is a single-player story, and then there's Oxbow, which is single or co-op, more of a sandbox, and I'll be doing the Oxbow. In the customized settings, as I mentioned before, the only thing I'm turning on is fast crafting, and that's because when you are crafting in bulk, sometimes it can take like 10 minutes of you sitting there and like crafting, and I don't want to subject you to that. So I'll be turning that on. I am, however, not doing fast building, so we'll be building at normal speeds.
Captain! A moment, sir. The horses will need to rest soon.
There are more trees around than I'd like, but the dusk is near. Let's make camp.
Yes, sir. Hold! We are not going to die!
Round them up. The biggest profit the guild ever made. They must be filthy rich.
Or, you know, stupid.
And rather desperate.
They giggle like children while we freeze. I can barely feel my...
Looks like you fell out of your cage, little birdie. Oh, is your wing broken? Poor little thing. I hope it doesn't hurt. Try not to die, birdie.
Got a message to Trip.
take half of the wares, torch the rest. I might have a buyer for them. Let him see my offer. Burns in the sky.
That was the intro cinematic, and I am going to quickly throw together a character that very, very vaguely represents myself.
Good job.
Will you marry me?
Follow me.
Hello.
I need some food.
All right, let's see. I don't need to really do too much of this. Where is... Oh, hair is here. But no hair seems more fitting. And this might be good enough. More or less. There is a lot of character creation settings, as you can see. But this is good, and I will be, of course, myself. A clean slate. Waking up from a nightmare. Talk to Sedowin. So, in the intro, we are the little birdie who was injured in that bandit raid. And you will, of course, find out what is going on in just a moment. So, pretty straightforward. Quest locations. You have got a compass on the top of your map, and it points you to the quest locations, kind of like Skyrim-esque, if you will. Oh, you're alive, and you look quite mobile as well. That's surprising. You don't know what to say, but I kind of feel great. That might just be a sign of the devastating psychosis taking over your brain to soothe your mind while the rest of your body is giving up. I think I would know if I was about to die. Oh, you'd be surprised. Who are you exactly? My name is Sedowin, and I'm the local barber surgeon. At least, that's what the townsfolk called me. I never truly pursued a career in medicine, but I guess I was the least hesitant to grab an axe when it was needed. That's the Oxbow for you. It doesn't matter who you were before, only what the land has in store for you from this point out. You'll see. Well, before I can answer any more of your questions, I need to perform a quick examination. We have to be sure that every part of you is healing correctly. Let's start with you telling me what is the last thing you remember. I was the commander of the guard hired to protect the convoy of builders and craftsmen. We were attacked. Listen, kid, my only job in this place is to treat people. I ask you these questions to see if your brain works as it should. I don't judge. So, by lying, you're not protecting your arse. You're just complicating my job. I've seen marks on your wrist. You were no guard. You're right. I'm sorry. You don't owe me any explanations. Nobody else knows about your past. Leave it in your hands what you want to do with it. The only thing I care about is your well-being, unless you give me a reason not to. From a medical standpoint, you seem to be in good shape. Would you like to go through a couple quick exercises just in case? Yes. Okay, I've prepared a short list of tasks that should help stimulate your muscle memory and test your coordination. On the table in front of the sick house, you should find a piece of parchment with a list on it. It's right next to the book that I'm writing. Give it a look. It's called Knowledge. That's just a working title. It's a collection of all the wisdom that I've gathered through the years, just a side project. I've allowed myself to add a copy of it to your journal as well. Feel free to use it whenever you wish. And also, the chest next to my house, you might find a few useful things in there. Come back to me when you finish the exercises. I'm on it. So we're going to go pick up the list of exercises, which is basically like the tutorial. And here it is, list of exercises, and this is the knowledge. So the knowledge is literally just the game's, knowledge or encyclopedia. And here's the list of exercises. So in your inventory here, we've got inventory. This is what I look like. I'm 18 years old. I'm wearing some basic clothing, got some basic coin, some dried meat and oat rolls. And then I do have the list of exercises as a quest item, but it doesn't weigh anything, so it doesn't really matter. So it wants me to gather from the ground nearby of stones. And also, he mentioned that there was a chest that would help me next to the sick house, which is right here. And this thing has logs, sticks, and straw. I can hold or hit C, as in Charlie, to transfer all of these into my inventory. And we also, right here, have the total carry weight. So 35 kilograms total weight, and right now I'm at 13.4. So I've collected and looted the chest next to the house. Next step is to collect stones from the ground. Collecting resources. All the basic resources can be collected in the wild. Just look around and reach out for them. Sticks are the easiest to find, but on the other hand, stones and herbs are much harder to spot. Move the cursor on the desired item until its name is shown. Got it. Most of the things in town are owned, and one of the rules I have imposed is I won't be stealing, at least not intentionally. But stones and things obviously are fair game. Nobody really owns stones. And I need 3 more stones to fulfill this requirement. 2, 1. All right. Next step is to craft a stone knife. So if you hit tab, you've got your inventory of items. And then if you want to craft, you hit Q for the creation menu. In the creation menu, you will be building different things. But also in here is handcrafting, which is crafting without like a workbench, if you will. And here are the recipes that you know now. So for instance, it is not winter, so I can't make a snowball, and I don't have leather, so I can't make a simple bag. But I can make a stone knife, which is my next task. And then it takes a few seconds, and then bada bing, bada boom, we have a stone knife. Now, again, in your inventory, you can bind your knives to specific slots, 1 through 8. And I like to put my knife at 3. I like to keep my quick slots roughly the same layout every time so that I can keep track of my items. Skin the chicken. Let me raise the volume just a little bit. That might be too much. So looking down at the chicken, if I hold E, I skin it. Done. Next is craft a simple torch. So again, handcrafting. And then in the wheel, we can see that the simple torch is here. It's 1 stick and 9 straw. And we got that too. And when you have a torch, if we open up our inventory here, torches and shields use the same slot. It's like your offhand slot. So I can hit F as in foxtrot and raise a torch or lower it. And then if I want to put my knife away, I can also hit 3, which is the number of the knife. If you use mouse wheel, you can zoom out into third person or in. Third person can be really helpful, especially to avoid like motion sickness when you're riding horses and donkeys. All right, use the fireplace next to the sick house to roast the meat. So here's a boxed fireplace, and I can hit E to craft. And here is the basic food that you can make on an open fireplace. This is not the full kitchen. And if we want to craft the meat, I can either craft it one at a time or hit R and then E to craft all of it, and then F again, and it will batch craft all 4 at once. Now I have fast crafting turned on, which means I do all 4 in one go. If I didn't have fast crafting on, I would be putting 1 meat at a time, picking it up, 1 meat at a time, picking it up, and in this case, it would take 4 times longer. If you're trying to make, let's say, 100 roasted meat, it would take 100 times longer. And as you can imagine, I didn't necessarily want to subject you to that. That takes a long time. And here is the roasted meat. And the difference between dried meat and roasted meat is dried meat keeps longer and gives you a buff where you're like less hungry a bit. Whereas the roasted meat is a little bit more filling, but it doesn't have that buff. And here, as you can see, we have health, food, water, temperature, poison, and intoxication. And also, for everyone in the hype train in the chat, Dave, JD, Mal, Glitch, Penguin Natty, Radlocker, thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. All right, so the last of the exercise tasks is to craft a wooden spear and hit the archery target with the spear. So again, quick crafting, Q. And then we have a wooden spear. We'll cook one up. I'm going to put the spear on my 1. And then holding right mouse is an aim. And then we could throw. Almost a bullseye. Okay, the inspector mode allows you to see dropped items like spears, villagers near you, and the stats of NPCs you're able to recruit. It's very important. Inspector mode is super useful. So if I hit left alt, as you can see, I could see the spear that I threw. That way I can collect it. Because if you're like firing arrows in the woods, trying to actually find the arrows physically, oh, good luck. But inspector mode makes it a lot easy. You know what? I'm going to call that almost a bullseye. Cool. So we're done with those little exercises. All right, Sedwin. Oh, you're outside.
My favorite patient is back.
I'm done with the list. Splendid, and how do you feel? Did you have any trouble? No, I'm good as new. I'm ecstatic to hear that. Your recuperation is truly a marvelous case. Is there anything else? As far as I'm concerned, our work together is done, and I'm more than happy with the results. The next thing for you to do is to meet the Castellan. He's the ruler of the land, and he wants to speak with you himself. That's it. If you ever need my help, you know where to find me. Take care of yourself, kid. I'll do that, and thank you, Sedwin, for everything. Cheers. All right, next task. Talk to Miragod. So this is sort of the largest town in the land. Oxbow is not a procedurally generated map. This is a static map. The other game mode, the other story mode has a different static map, so there's essentially 2 maps. And this is the trading market, where you can buy just about everything you need in the game, apart from like ranched animals. And we're looking for Miragod. So let's go have a chat with him. He is the fancy lad, if you will. Stop bothering me. Don't you see that I'm... Oh, it's you. You took your time. Good day to you, my liege. I'm here at your request. Less talking, more paying attention, peasant. My time is precious. Listen, I made a deal with your guild for a whole caravan. Builders, crafters, architects, tons of material, everything necessary for the creation of a new settlement. But instead of it all, I got you. I wasn't even part of any. Shush, I'm not done talking. Now, because you decided you'd like to be ambushed and slaughtered, your friends back in the guild don't want to send anything or anyone more. That's not what we agreed on, but I'm too tired, too busy, and too annoyed to try and reason with them, so you'd have to do. Have to do for what? To build a new settlement, of course. Yeah, totally reasonable request. Man, this guy, if there was a resting punch me in the face, this guy has it in spades. Oh, that, sure, piece of cake. That's what I like to hear. See, he doesn't get sarcasm either. What an idiot. Although I have absolutely no faith in your success, at least I can finally hear some enthusiasm around here. Don't worry about a thing. I'm a professional. Well, maybe I have misjudged you. Enthusiasm, confidence. You may actually be worth something after all. Great. Go and find Darwin. He's my quartermaster. If you need anything, bother him with questions, not me. Will do. Oh, and I almost forgot. I hereby grant you the yada yada you can build on whichever unoccupied piece of land you like. Just remember about taxes. Thanks. I mean, that last bit's kind of important because the average person here doesn't have permission from the Castellan to build wherever they want. So, that's our leg up in life, if you will. So let's go talk to Darwin. He is the quartermaster. Oh, he's actually talking to Sarowin right now, which is interesting. That's not scripted, by the way. I was told by the Castellan to speak to you. Glad to finally see you in good health. I'm Derwin, Pastovia's quartermaster. I was told by the Castellan to speak with you. I understand. Allow me to elaborate a bit on your situation then. Our ruler tends to be brief at times. Yes, please. That would help me a lot. You see, your guild was invited to the Oxbow in order to start a new settlement, which in time would develop into a strong ally of Pistovia, or Piastovia. I don't know how to say it. I'm not Polish enough. That much I've heard. But what you might wonder is, why would Piastovia need such an ally? Or, what does it really mean to be its ally? These questions are hard to answer, for sure. Someone could have even said dangerous to ask. What are you trying to say? Forget I said anything. I don't want to insinuate that you're in any kind of danger. The Oxbow is a wonderful place. Apart from a hungry wolf or a drunk adventurer turned bandit, you have nothing to worry about. Just be careful who you put your trust in. Speak your mind, mister. Alright, let's just say not every village in the Oxbow is on good terms with its neighbors. Getting a friend in one place might get you an enemy somewhere else. Not every smile you see will be a sincere one. People are drawn to power, and what might make them easily forget about their humanity. I'll be careful, thank you. Good. When you were talking with the Castellan, I put some things for you in the chest next to Sedwin's house. It's not much, few of the items that we recovered from the carnage, but a couple of useful things that will help you get started. I appreciate that. This is it then. The only thing left to do is to go out there and explore. Roam around and find the best starting place for a new settlement. I'm sure you'll do fine. The Oxbow, here I come. Alright. As a result of that conversation, I did get some stuff. So I got what is considered Dynasty reputation, which is very useful in building up kind of like a... People know me as like a village leader, if you will. And it's an important resource when you want to expand your population. Right now, I am in the development stage of a traveler. I haven't actually built anything. But one very important game mechanic is everything I build, every house, every building, every farm, everything raises the amount of money I owe in taxes. The Lord basically wants to tax the hell out of me. So that's what we're dealing with. He did mention that he put some stuff in the chest again, so let's return to the chest. And then in my journal log, which is J, I do have this Stay Vigilant quest line, which is keep an eye on the situation in the Oxbow, but I'm going to untrack that for now because there's nothing active for me to do. The chest has a bow, bucket, a burn note from the caravan, copper arrows, an axe, hammer, hoe, knife, shovel, healing, potion of temperature, which raises your expands your temperature tolerance, hot and cold, a simple bag, which is used for fertilizing and farming, an axe, a spear, a torch, and wooden hammers. Let's transfer them all, and as you can see, it's way more than I can physically carry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the logs back in, and let's go ahead and sort by weight. I'm going to transfer the stones back in. I'm going to transfer these stone axes and stone spears back in, and now I am not encumbered. I don't really need stone-based stuff at the moment, because they did offer up copper stuff, which is going to be a lot better. And it's warning me about being overloaded. I already fixed that. Alright, in terms of my gear, let's set up how I like it. I'm going to have a bow in my second slot, a knife in my third. I'm going to change the knife I have from the stone to the copper. Now, one could do is grab all that stuff behind me and like sell it in the market, but because it's like basic stone weaponry, it really won't sell for very much. I really don't care. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say, forget the sticks for now. Forget the stone knife. And I have a copper hammer, so forget the wooden hammers. And then everything else I'll keep. Alright, so let's set up the inventory. On 4, I will do a copper hammer. On 5, I will do the axe. On 6, I'll do the shovel. On 7, I'll do the hoe. And that will work for now. Cool. So, I am tasked with building a settlement. And let me talk about the map a little bit. When I've already basically picked where I want to settle. I'll just be honest with you. I already have a favorite, and then that's where I'm going. And cheers, by the way. But there's a few important resources to be made aware of when you're settling. 1, these green little stakes here are fast travel wagons. It's pretty useful to be near one of the towns so that you can travel from town to town. because wandering around the open can be dangerous because of predators like bears and wolves, or wisen, which are, bison. And it takes a long time. So being near a town is kind of nice. And these red circles here are like X towns, if you will. They're not towns where like people are in them. The next thing, being near a source of water is relatively important because water allows you to drink. Water allows you to wash off because you become filthy rather. And then also around water typically grows thatch, which is a very important building material early on. So being near water, being near towns. Now, besides that, there are two resources you get out of the ground, which is clay and ore. Ore is a lot more important than clay because ore makes you tools. And there is only a finite number of mines on the map. So, Sauki, or Skauki here, has a mine of its own. The developed mines you can mine iron out of, but iron is a completely not important resource for us right now. We do not have the knowledge of how to work iron, so that doesn't matter at all. And then there is a mine here. There is a mine here. There's a mine here. There's a mine here. There's a mine here. And one here. And I want to go to this area. I'm going to double click it so that I drop a map marker. It's close to these two towns. And then it's nice and flat. The last thing that you should look for is flat open area, because mountainous area is going to be really difficult to develop and not worth your time. Not unless you know what you're doing and you can deal with the challenges of a varied terrain. All right, there are some other things that we could potentially do in town. As you can see, there's a lot of quest markers, and there is a quest board, if you will. Because we are just starting out, we really don't have the capacity to fulfill these requests easily, but we could take a look. So, this is another important concept. Expires this season. The quest board will expire at the end of the season. So if you accept these, you better do them before end of season, and every season is 3 days. So delivering salt or delivering log sticks and simple torches, and the rewards for these are pretty terrible. I mean, it's not a lot of coin, not a lot of dynasty reputation. I'm not going to really worry about this. What I'm going to do instead is head to where I want to settle. And I want to build a starter home, because I'm going to be acquiring resources, and if I don't have anywhere to put those resources, I'm going to be encumbered in no time. As you wander around, one thing you'll find, if we go to the filters up here, is wild animals. It's the first one to the left, and if you zoom in, you can see that there's crows, pigeons, pike, so on and so forth. When you are building a town, you will stop the spawn of the animals that are in that area. So for instance, if I wanted to move into a wolf den territory, if I kill the wolves will respawn every season. But if I build on top of their den, they won't respawn. But they won't despawn until the next season or until I kill them. So when you're picking a place to settle, keep in mind that you probably don't want to be next to predators unless you can deal with the predators, because your villages and villagers will be attacked, and like if you don't want them dead, you might want to consider protecting them in that way. Now, I did say in the details that I will not be going after treasure. Without spoiling anything, there are some spots on this map that have an incredible amount of treasure that allows you to get a huge leg up in progress with very little effort if you know where to look, because it's a static map, not a procedurally generated map. With that said, it's fine if I organically happen upon these. So the countryside is littered with abandoned wagon carts and little camps with abandoned gear. And when you look at the stuff, it will tell you that it's not theft. You'll know. So if we look through these barrels, for instance, this coin and coverlet, 2 coverlets, holy moly, that's worth a lot of money, is not theft. I'm not stealing it. It was just abandoned. And it literally says abandoned supplies. So we got more coin. And as you can see, I've already made more coin than like the quests that I could have accepted. We've got some flour. Alcohol is relatively expensive, so it's a good thing to collect for sale. Another barrel with flour. And as you can see, yeah, this place has long been abandoned. But we got a stone spear in the bed. I think I know why it was abandoned. A chest with a bag and a potion of sobriety, 2 of them. Bags are also really important because bags allow you to farm. A wicker crate with 150 coin underneath. Another stone spear. All right, there merchant locations. There are many kinds of specialized merchants scattered throughout the Oxbow. Do not hesitate to ask your neighbors for help. So if you ask any villager and you're going, hey, like where to buy stuff, they will point you in the right direction. The other thing is, like, there is often coin pouches hidden around places like this. So you should poke around to make sure you didn't miss anything. It's not vitally important. And then we have some poison stone arrows shot into this table, which was maybe used to blockade the door. But it didn't work all that well, because whoever was here, they ain't here no more. Sometimes the loot requires a little bit of parkour. It doesn't look like I can easily get on this roof, and it also doesn't look like there's anything on that roof, but you should always check roofs, or to make sure that there is nothing up on the roof. Alright, up here, what do we got? We got, oh, this was a mill. We got a bow, but it's only 9%, and the things that you can, oh, iron arrows that are poisoned, holy cow. The sell price for things will adjust based upon its durability left. So some tin bars. I might not have the weight. No, I don't have the weight for tin bars, so I'm going to put them back. Rye grain and straw. Oh, the other thing is, like, food and potions will spoil over time, so you shouldn't hoard them because they won't last forever. Potions last a lot longer than food, and food lasts, and it's a little variable. So like salted and dried food will obviously last more than like raw meat, but regardless, they're perishable. All right, up here I don't really see anything. More flour. There is fall damage, so I don't really want to break ankles. I mean, it's a bit of a meme on this channel, but still, if I can avoid it, I will. And I think, well, I don't really have carry weight for anything else, so this is going to have to do. I can always come back to get the stuff, but like perishable stuff is perishable. Now, if I didn't happen upon it, I don't think it would start rotting on its own until I like found it. But still, I don't intend to like have to come back to the same place twice. Now, those tin bars, of course, like they're not that important. I'm not leaving behind like a gold bars or anything like that. I mean, there are no gold bars in this game, but still. So I'll show you why I wanted to settle in this valley here. This is the valley that I picked. And pretty soon I'm going to need to address my food and water situation, but it's fine because this valley has plenty of water. So there's some sort of like migrant camp over here. So this was what I was referencing before, where you find tons of these like temporary abandoned camps out and about. Small containers, and I don't want to pick anything up right now because this is where I want to settle, so I don't need to pick this stuff up because it will be here when I have the carry weight for it. But we are right here at a bridge. It's got no predators around. It's got a waterfall and a river. It's relatively flat, actually incredibly flat. It's got reeds or straw or thatch. I can drink the water, no problem. And this is where I want to settle. Thank you for tuning in to Medieval Dynasty, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I've asked for no spoilers, so don't spoil it for anyone else in the comments. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you at next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Medieval Dynasty players.